why would we focus on what goes on in the House, the Oklahoma House? Well, because what starts in Oklahoma or Arizona or Georgia or North Carolina doesn't stay there. And here is an interesting debate between Oklahoma State Representative Cory Williams, he's a Democrat, and Oklahoma Representative George Faught, Republican. And I believe there's an abortion bill that is being debated. This bill, 1549, would prohibit anyone from seeking an abortion in the case of a genetic abnormality. Also makes no exceptions whatsoever, and for rape or incest. And Representative Cory Williams is exploring this with his fellow representative. Here it is.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative, is rape the will of God?
Well, you know, if you read the Bible, there's actually a couple of circumstances where that happened. And the Lord uses all circumstances. I mean, you know, you can go down that path, but you know, it's a reality, unfortunately.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is incest the will of God?
Same answer. Doesn't deal with this bill.
Gentleman's recognized for a follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With all due respect, I think it absolutely is on point. You won't make any exceptions for rape. You won't make any exceptions for incest in this, and you are proffering divine intervention as the reason why you won't do that. And so I think it is very important this body wants to know, myself personally, whether you believe rape and incest are actually the will of God.
You know, it's a great question to ask. And obviously, if it happens in someone's life, it may not be the best thing that ever happened, you know. But so you're saying that God is not sovereign with every activity that happens in someone's life and can't use anything and everything in someone's life, and I disagree with that.
It's not the best thing. It may not be the best thing. Maybe like the second or third best thing, but not necessarily the best thing in someone's life to be raped by, let's say, their uncle or their dad or their brother.
Emphasis on dad.
I mean, this is just happening in the Oklahoma House now, but I mean, is it really that inconceivable we will having the same debate on the floor of the federal House?
Not at all.
No, of course not.
And this is another great example of this whole fever will break fantasy. Republicans paid actual consequences for comments like this in national elections a couple of cycles ago. And they even had, remember, they had PR consultants come in and basically train them to not make ambivalent sounding comments about rape.
Well,
and here you are.
What's
and,
so
and it's because
ambivalent about it? It's not the best thing to happen in someone's life.
And it's literally their policy agenda. I mean,
Yeah,
I think this is not even just like a disgusting thing that they say.
Or believe in their houses of worship.
Or believe in their houses
Sundays.
of worship on Sundays. It's literally their policy agenda.
Well, I mean, of that 20% who thought the Supreme Court was the most important reason to vote for Donald Trump, I mean, how many of those could you basically say God has compelled me to vote for Donald Trump? I mean, because that's what it's right. That's what it comes down to. I mean, it's not a lot of those people are going like, I really want Trump to put that fifth guy on the Supreme Court because I really want Friedrich to head back to the Supreme Court so that those public sector unions. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people in the Republican coalition who want that, but of that 20%, a big chunk of them are there because God, basically.
Oh, I think, and I agree generally that sort of personal motivation is secondary, but I actually think for all the cynical reasons we can ascribe to Mike Pence, and there are many, and his political career was done and everything, I also think that there totally is a part of Mike Pence who thinks that I'm an instrument of God and he gave me this opportunity and I'm right there. I think he's actually a personal representative of that attitude in the White House, for
Very
sure.
possibly. Hey, folks, Sam Seder here. Donald Trump can kiss all of our asses. And one way he can is by you subscribing to this channel. I don't know how that works.